Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Now I've got a very special video for you today. I'm here at Royal Portrush, the host of the 2025 Open Championship, the 153rd Open. The sun is shining and I'm really going to focus on the short game today, link specific short game, and in particular when you're watching the Open you'll be able to really see the runoff areas, okay, the difficult short game shots the pros are going to face. And I'm going to also go through some technical elements about how you can adapt your game for links golf, both technically and mentally in terms of club choice and shot selection. So we're going to head up to the first green now and have a look there. So this is probably the toughest shot I'm going to face today, and it's on the first hole. There's this magnificently placed bunker, and any pins at the front left during the Open you'll see players perhaps go for, and if they get a little bit too much spin, perhaps it's into the wind and it just pops back. Indeed, exactly as Shane Lowry did in the last round of the Open. His ball didn't do that. His ball came back in to the bunker like this. And then you are left with the toughest shot in golf. Not only have you got a really high lip here, it's blind as well. I can't even see the pin at all. All I can see is this mound, and it's about a 40-yard bunker shot. So now I would be playing this with a little bit less loft than normal. So I would go to something like a 52 or a 54 if you carry that, and open the face, because the bunkers here at Portrush are beautiful. Like the depth of sand is fantastic. So you can really splash, release the club. Definitely looking to take some sand here. Getting a ball first contact from here and getting some control is tough. But I'm going to use my 52, open the face up, take a decent length backswing, make sure I'm splashing. I'm still releasing like a number 2 release, but I'm really trying to increase the speed of my chest to try and get it out there. And it's a sort of shot from here that you're looking to try and take within 30 feet is a good result. In fact, I think Shane Lowry hit it to about 25, 30 feet when he was in this exact position as he went on to win the Open on that Sunday there. So let's give this a go. 52 degree, really turning the chest through with some speed. Yeah, so I think the lesson there is just use something like your 52 degrees there, 54 degrees perhaps. Make sure you take the sand, keep the chest speed, and be realistic with your expectations. Shane Lowry, one of the best golfers in the world, hit it to about 25, 30 feet here. I'm not sure how close I hit it. It might be about the same. But yeah, long bunker shots, really respect it because it can be a round record, particularly on the first. So you can see the slope here, right? So if they put the pin position kind of around about here, and the ball has a little bit too much spin on it, it's all the way back down there into the bunker. So got to watch out for that left pin position. And this is my first time at Portrush. I had no idea the slope, the ridge in the middle of the green there is incredible. So I guess my bunker shot got up there and then it just came right back down there. So what a first hole, okay? It's a really interesting one. That back pin's probably the easiest position in terms of the iron shots going in. It's a little bit flatter up there, but anything at the front, we're really interested how the pros play that. Let's go and have a look at the second. So this second hole, it's a 572-yard par 5. Quite a tight tee shot, bunkers either side, and then the player has to decide, are you going to go for it over the cross bunkers or lay up? So I think a lot of the pros with a good drive will definitely be going for it in 2, but the green is really narrow, and you'll see, look, the balls will be coming in. If you pull it maybe just 5 or 10 yards, you can see how the ball there just works its way. It's on the left edge of the green, but watch it go now, and it'll clip that runoff area. And look at the shot now, your face a little bit softer. So this is what you'll see a lot during the Open, how the ball's going to go down there. Look at that first one, it's way down there. So let's play some from that collection area because the pin is tight and you've got that steep slope. It's quite an interesting shot. Let's have a look at it. Right, so this will be the collection area. It'll hit the slope, it'll work its way down here. And, you know, you can be a little bit rough, which again might be a little bit easier actually. You can sort of release it under it, but I've tried to pick the tight lies because I know that's challenging for a lot of you as well. And there's a few options here. I really love links golf. I love the firmness of the turf. Really, I can trust the turf. It's not going to bounce too much. The turf there is gorgeous. It's got a bit of sponge to it, but it's firm. So I would play like a sort of a 60 because I want a lowish bounce. But I'm going to put the toe down to take a little bit more off and just do a little toe across shot, tiny bit of release, maybe towards a 2. And looks like the green feeds down. And this probably would be the sort of professional shot here that you'll see in the Open. They'll be hitting it up in the air and spinning it. And I haven't played it before. I don't quite know how the greens are breaking, but I'm guessing there's quite a bit of break here. So I'll put that bush, toe down, See if I can carry that ridge. So I've clipped that absolutely beautifully. I think that's pretty good. Oh, it's run on a little bit. It's probably run about 15 feet past the hole. I played it perfectly, but that is really difficult to get close from here. So other options include one into the bank, maybe something like a 52. You've got this little mound and then you've got the steep bank there. So sort of doing a release one here, but a little bit of hinge. And again, off these tight links lies, just a little bit of hinge really helps keep the leading edge down, gets that low flight, quite a lot of spin. And although I'd probably be quite happy with a short-sided position with that first shot, to get it close, you probably have to use the bank to take a bit of the speed out of the ball. So when I'm going into banks, I'm really trying to visualize how many bounces are going to be off the green. I think I need at least two to three here. See a little bit of sand there. I'm going to hit a hinged release one into the bank. Oh, I played that perfectly. Go. Oh, that might be quite good. That might be quite good. Feed down. Oh, there we go. Well, the pros had paid me a lot of money for that one because that's about a couple of feet away. So that probably is the shot, and that'd be my preferred option where you're hitting something low into the bank, a little bit of check and running up, but don't use too much loft there. You can get too much spin. I used a 52 there. If you're looking for something really safe, the beauty about links golf, there's nothing wrong with the putter. Sometimes it is the putter. And from here, you've obviously got to read the mounds, but this might, again, just give you something around about 20 feet. When you are putting from off the green like this, where there's a lot of slope there to go up, just add in a little bit of hinge into your putting stroke, just to pop it a little bit more. And again, we're looking to just feed this at the top, let it run out of speed at the top, cut the engine, and just let it then feed out to the hole. So little hinge, allow for the break. Go. Oh, sit. That'd been another 2 feet I'd have got there. That's the disadvantage of putting from off the green, by the way. It can be quite hard to judge. And then you hit one a little bit too hard like that. So really, I think the shot there was the second one I played, which was at 52 degree. Back in the stance, a little bit of check, feed it into the slope. The high one I like, but with that tight pin, I think you'll see a lot of the pros hitting into the bank, and that's probably the shot I would recommend for you as well. Right, so your third hole, lovely par three, short, tiny green. And if you just miss the green a little bit, there's a big mound here, and you're going to see a lot of players on upslopes like this. Okay, now the upslope chip is a shot that I see a lot of players struggle with, where the club sort of gets stuck into the slope and the ball doesn't really go anywhere. But this is really quite an extreme slope, and it's slightly in the rough. And we've seen already how quick the greens are here at Portrush. So I would be playing this. I've got to lean my weight into this slope. I can't set my lower body with the slope because I'm just going to fall over here. So I've got to make sure I'm leaning my lower body forward from a balance perspective, but my upper body has to tilt back. So I really think about on these slopes when it's severe like this, lower body forward, upper body back a little bit, and then feel like the club follows the slope. So I'm going to do a release two here, but I'm going to get the club turning over. So just for those that don't know, release two is where the butt of the grip is swinging back just past impact, where it's pointing back at the belt buckle. But I don't want to just go under this way of a normal release two, because the ball would go up and not go forward. So I'm going to hit a draw. So the right foot drops back, club goes low a little bit in, release it but turn the toe, and just feel like you're going to work it with the slope. Just going to break a little bit left to right and just carry this down. So drop the foot back, sweep it with the slope. That quite nicely. Just nearly went in just on that right edge, so you can play it a little bit softer now. So just really make sure when you're playing it's super smooth, a little bit smoother this time, a little bit more in. Play that softer, and that's run on. That's pretty good. Wow, these greens are so quick. Don't miss it right. It's a really tough up and down for these slopes, but in terms of getting the strike, set yourself with a slope in terms of the upper body, lower body forward, in, release two, little draw, you get the contact. That's just a really quick shot. So I hope it's given you a flavour for how difficult this golf course is around the greens. You've got to hit the greens. And this, the fourth hole, it's called Fred Daly, the name of the hole, after the first Irish major winner. And This is a 502-yard par 4. Very easy to come up short here. And I've got this really difficult shot where it's actually totally blind. I'm going over a mound. And again, these greens are so quick. So I'm going to do a release 3 lob shot. And then I'm going to show you how you can be maybe a little bit more creative when you play links golf. And that's the great thing about links. It's so different to maybe what you normally play. And it brings a totally new set of challenges. So when you've got a total blind shot, you've got to really concentrate on a target in front. So I'm walking around and trying to think about where that pin is. So I've now got a flower I'm aiming at. And then you've got to try and feel this a little bit. I've got to hit this, I reckon, about 12 yards, 15 yards with a lob shot. Have a few practices, try and feel what the turf is like. There's just enough grass there to be able to feel I can deliver a release 3 here. Keep the chest moving on release 3s. Too many players I see quit on it. So make sure as you play it, you keep turning slightly into the wind, which might help me out a little bit. So we're going to really pop this up nice and soft. I can play that nice. Lightning lap of the gods now. Where's that gone? That's pretty good. That's about 6-7 feet. And you can also have a little bit of fun. You can hit it lower. So I've got a 52 here, hinged, release 1. See if I can use that backstop. Not really sure the angles. I haven't played here before, so I'm not sure how it will break, but I'm going to hit it lower. That's the thing. And just try and show you how you can use slopes a little bit when you play links golf course. You see I've hit that past the pin. Come on then. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, I need to allow a little bit more break, but you can see how that ball's really coming back off the slope. So if you're not confident of hitting that first shot, hit that high one. Don't forget you can go low and use the backstops. All part of the fun, the creativity of links golf. Okay, let's go and have a look at the next hole. This is the 5th hole. This is going to be a really interesting hole in the Open Championship. It's a drivable par 4. It's 375. The wind generally is moving in that direction, and it sort of kicks down quite quickly at the end there. There's out of bounds at the back there as well, which makes it interesting. So you can play this hole quite conservatively. You might see some sort of mid-irons, 5 irons off the tee, or you will see some players actually going for this in one shot, and right looks like it's absolute no-go. Doesn't look good over there, so we might see some left misses here, guarding for a little bit of safety there. So let's go and have a look at that left-hand side of the green. Right, so yeah, this will be the runoff area. It'll collect down here. Now, this is where I see a lot of you making mistakes. You'll use a club with a bit too much loft here, and it will just die into that bank, and it'll just come back. And it's slightly into debris. So just feel like you've got to hit that lower to make sure it's got the right land angle, the right launch window, it will get up that tier. So I think a 9-iron is a nice shot here, and you can just land it in the bottom tier. It'll have enough energy to get up the slope, but I'm not going to use a 7 or 8 because that might then wander on a little bit. I've hit my spot, wandering on. Might have gone a little bit past the pin there. That's why what you'll probably see more tour pros doing here is using a bit more loft and hitting it in low with a bit more loft. Something like a 52 that's going to check a little bit more and give you hopefully a little bit more of a controlled shot. So release 1 with a 52, and you can see how that's very different, and it's spinning and it's sort of working down there a little bit closer. So, you know, the 9-iron first one, good. It gets it up the slope, but it's hard to control. But these greens are lightning, and sometimes you need a bit more spin. So probably a 52 there, release 1. It's a shot for this occasion. But interesting hole. Enjoy watching this in the Open. So the 6th tee. I mean, what a spot this is. The locals are out enjoying the beach here, and I can see why. Graham McDowell's favourite spot, he says, and I don't disagree with him at all. It's absolutely superb. And in the background there, you can just see Dunlace Castle up on the rocks there, okay, which this course was named after. So what a beautiful spot. If you're not playing very well, enjoy the view. Okay, but we've got a lovely par 3 here. Looks like a real tricky one, actually. Let's see what's going on here. The great par 3 here, undulations everywhere. I think a lot of players will bring it in off the right here. But sometimes it may stick upon the bank, and these downslopes are an interesting shot. I know it's a tough shot for a lot of you, and it's landing on a downslope and really kicking forward, and we know the course is playing so quick. So downslopes, a lot of people catch it way before the ball, so it's important to widen the stance and just go with the slope, down the hand a little bit, and then you can just get a little bit of wrist set and finish short, release 1 off a downslope. Don't go trying to hit it high off a downslope, it probably won't end very well. You might be catch it a little bit thin. So I think I've got to land this just on the fringe. and it will just run off slightly off the right, but it's going to be again so quick. Just there, little release one. I landed it exactly where I wanted to, and that's gone. There we go, pretty much stone dead. So that's the key on these shots, really making sure that you set yourself with the slope, a little bit of shaft lean off the down slopes, down the grip. That helps you just set it a little bit earlier, and then you just hit into that little one position. And when it is this quick, you've really got to bring your landing spot back and make sure as well, just visually you're doing that. When you're playing around the greens, you really glare at your landing spot, glance at the pin. Don't do it the other way around, which is what most golfers do. So focus on your landing spot, and that really, my job was there just to hit the landing spot. The hole really was just a secondary target. So that's how you manage these links downhill lies. So I just wanted to bring you to the 7th tee because that is spectacular. I mean, what a view. Must be one of the best views in golf. That is absolutely stunning with the dunes, the big rugged bunker on the right there. And this is a championship tee here, 606 yards. I'm tempted that tee shot, but I thought I'd really focus on short game today. The course is packed. So I'll come back and play it another day, hopefully. But that is an outstanding tee shot. It's a monster of par 5. If they get on in 2 here, they've done really well. But we'll go up there and explore the challenge around the green. Okay, so yeah, big par 5 here. Now, there is this very dangerous pot bunker on the left, and there's one further up on the right. Now, I think you can go for it. You can go for it, but a good layup here would leave you about 90 yards in, which I've got exactly here. Now, the pin, it looks like it's just over quite a big tee. I haven't been up there yet, but I mean, it looks like it goes and it flattens off. So 91 yards, definitely still just about in the short game family. Kind of would be about a 3/4 pitch shot here with the 56. Looks like it's slightly downwind. It looks like it might come off the right a bit. So this is a bit of flighted shot, the slightly higher shot, ball towards that left heel. Bit of release here, keep the chest moving. Let's see if we can hit that. Maybe about 80, 85, I would imagine. Here. I've got the height there. Is it enough carry? Go. Oh, it's just on top of the slope. Stay there. Okay, that's the danger when it goes up in the air a little bit. Okay, so that's one option. I think I could carry that another 2 or 3 yards. It would have been nice. Now, with that awkward slope, which I just proved to you there, I think a better shot for most people will be going in lower. So when you've got the tier in the green, think about going in lower. You could do something like a pitching wedge here or a 9-iron and really bring your landing spot back. I've got a 52, but I'm going to play the ball position a bit further back and hit a lower flighted shot in and try and use the ground. I don't really know how much green there is up there, but I'm slightly guessing, but more about the ball flight here is the lesson more than anything. So just going to aim a touch right of the hole and hit a lower shot and use the ground rather than working it into that slope too much. So I'm going to be landing this about 70, 72 or so. That's a lovely low ball flight. Come on, landed short or just into the bank, and that's rolled up. And that looks like it's pretty close. So controlling ball flight when you pitch is really important. That went in lower, so it hit the bank, but it got up the bank, where you see the 56 sort of grabbed a bit. So when you're playing those pitch shots into par 5s, or any hole for that matter, really consider the ball flight, particularly when you've got those little tiers, which you get a lot on links golf courses. So this is the 8th tee. Championship tee is about another 50 yards back, so it's going to be, what, 420-ish? And yeah, dogleg to the left. This is one of the new holes here when they redesigned the course for the last Open Championship here, and 2 really clever bunkers there on the right. So they will be really in distance and really in range there for the players there. So you're really looking at maybe hitting perhaps a 3-wood or even a 2-iron, just keeping it short of the bunkers there, and that'll then leave you a shot in. So it looks quite a challenging green as well. Let's go and have a look. The players are going in with a short iron here, maybe a pitching wedge, so they'll have a little bit of spin. And you can see here, if you're a little bit short or there's too much spin coming back, you can see how it's going to gather. And watch it go now. Here it goes, and it's going to end up right down here. So this is a collection area, and this is a place you will find yourself a lot in links golf, and I'm sure you'll see it during the Open Championship. Now, on these sort of firm fairway lies, and you've got to go up a slope that steep, you know, it can be it's quite a challenge. So this is where you've got a few options. I would say the pro here would hit it up in the air and try and spin it. They'd hit it in fairly low because of the lie. So you're going to be a hinge, sort of release one there. Just carry that bank and see you can get some spin. But I'm going to show you a little hybrid shot as well, which might be a nice one to play as a safer option. We're going to see if we can do this. Down a grip, a little bit of hinge. Hinge it, hold that loft on, release one. I think it breaks a little bit left to right. Played that about as good as I can do. I'm so below the hole, I've no idea if that's any good, but I played it perfectly. Right flight, right strike. Very happy with that. So I think if you've got that ability to do that, then fantastic. Just do that and get a bit of the spin. If you want a nice safe one, I love the hybrid chip. When you're doing the hybrid chip, give yourself a putting grip. So don't do your sort of standard grip. Go reverse overlap or whatever you do, and just try and feel like you're taking the hands out somewhat. But the benefit of a hybrid is it just gets the ball popping and it gives you a little bit more ball speed up that slope. You've got to read the break a little bit. It looks like it's going to go left and then it'll come right. So I'm going to start this at the pin, knowing it's going to go this way and then come back. Not the easiest to judge, but let's see if we can just get the contact. That's the main thing. And get it running up there. Little putting action with a hybrid. Go on, get up. And that should feed down. Again, don't know if that's going to be any good, but really easy shot. And if you haven't done this before, particularly if you're playing links golf, it is a great option. The lies are so tight that you're just looking for something to kind of work up that slope. And you could putt it, but the problem with putting, you would have to hit that so hard, and that'd be very difficult to control. But the beauty of a hybrid, got a bit of loft on it. I used my number 4 there, by the way. Number 4 hybrid is that's about 22 degrees, and it just helps its way up. So two options there. Choose which you think's most appropriate for you. But again, love to challenge a links golf. You can see I've sort of hit a decent wedge shot in there, spins all the way down, and there's 2 ways of hopefully getting it close. I'll go see where those are. So this is the 9th hole, and it's just recently been renamed Darren Clark's, which is a nice sort of homage to the great man who won the Open Championship at Sandwich, and obviously local guy. So fantastic for Darren. And this is just a fantastic hole. It sort of goes round, a little bit of a dog leg, and there's 2 bunkers short of the green, which really are there to catch the approach shot. So let's go and see what's happening on this green. Right, so you see the approach shot here. It's actually quite a narrow green. Anything left will catch a swale on the left. But look what happens if you just miss this, just a touch to the right of the green. Okay, so there we go. We've hit a reasonable shot. Missed it by about a yard. Now just watch that ball go. Look how quick it goes. Now I'm in a bit of rough on a downslope. And we've got this steep slope for a pin that's only about 10 yards on. So let's have a look at that one. Right, so yeah, if you're playing a 9th hole at Portrush, do not miss it here because this is an awful spot. Downslope, a little bit of rough, back up really steep, and then we know how quick the greens are. Hybrid would be another nice option like the last hole. So I mean, if you're in this situation, I think hybrid probably would be the shot. But I'm going to show you a different one with a 9-iron. Release one, and the reason that I think the 7-iron is going to be too quick. So when you've almost got to gamble in this situation, you're almost leaving at the top, and then it can just trickle out. So I think a 9, just with keeping it low. I mean, it's going to go low for downslope anyway, and coax it to the top, and then let it feed down. I'm just going to add in a little bit of hinge. Ordinarily when I'm chipping with 7, 8, 9-irons, I'm sort of keeping it quite wide, but I'll just pop in a little bit of hinge here just to help it follow the slope. It looks like it might kick to the left off that slope. And again, just try and visualize your landing spots on these. So 9-iron, back foot, just outside the back foot, early hinge, hit it in the bank. That's done quite nicely. Sit. God, so quick. These are so quick. I need to aim this way more to the right. And this is, by the way, when you see the pros on the practice, they are just going to these areas and they'll be having several shots from places like this and just figuring out what the ball does. And it all goes in the memory bank. The caddies are making notes. And then when they come to the tournament, they know what's happening. So having done that, I'm going to aim this about another 15 feet out to the right. Play roughly the same shot, maybe not quite as firm. There we go. You can see how the break there brought it round to the hole, and you start to get the feel. So, you know, if you are playing links golf, just great idea if you get some practice rounds in and just try and feel it. But that was a really fun shot. I quite like the way in which that that came out quite softly. Let's see if we can do it again. I'm enjoying this now. A little bit of hinge. There we go. Go on then, go in the hole. That's it, good. So you can see how the feel just starts to come, and the visualization, which is key for links golf. You've got to visualize it, you've got to see the shot, and then make sure you allow for those breaks. So that's a nice shot there. Little 9-9, little hinge release one, so it follows the slope, and hopefully there's 2 up and downs there. So as you can see, we're on the 10th hole here, and you've just seen Shane Lowry's ball run through the green when he won the Open here, and he had this exact spot, little bit of a downslope in the rough. We put a head cover down where the pin was on that Sunday, and it's quite a difficult shot because the slope is quite severe, and it's in a bit of rough, and you got this little bit of a mound here to go up before it feeds down. I think the greens are definitely quicker today than when Lowry played this shot, because they had a lot of rain. You can see it's much greener then, but so in a way I think this is probably tougher today, but let's see if I can do it. So I'm going to use my 60 here because it's going to come out quite quick, and we know the greens are fiery. I'm going to play the ball back, hands forward, a little bit of a hinge, definitely play it as little one, and just going to land this just on and see if I can get it to feed down there. Hinge, release one. Play that really nicely. Sit. Oh, there we go. Would it have gone in the hole? It might have gone about 6-7 feet past, but I played that really nicely. And the key on these downslopes is really getting down the grip. A little bit of an earlier set and just pop it there. Really stay short and really stay in the shot. When you're on these slopes and these cute shots, it's not about rotation. It really is just a hands and arms shot, keeping that leading edge down because they're very easy to thin these shots. Just land it on and let it run out. I'm going to give myself one. I think that would have hit the pin and gone down. So 11th hole, you know, fantastic par 4, massive false front. If you are just a little bit short, you are rolling back probably 30, 40 yards perhaps, okay? It will just keep going and going and going. But if you pull it a little bit, look what you might get. So you pull your shot. There we go. It really nestles down into the rough. And obviously it can get really thick. I'll make it a little bit tougher actually. Really go in this stuff. There, oof, look at that. So it's totally buried, and it's on a downslope. So it's way below my feet. So on a lie like this, balances everything. You've got to get just as wide as you possibly can. So look how wide I'm standing here. And I'm going to go up the grip a little bit because I've got to try and make the club a little bit longer, but sort of middle of the grip actually, really. And then it's sort of got this awkward tuft behind it. So I've got to hinge it early, chop down. I've got my 60. Anything here might just sort of run out. So I'm looking to land it just here in front of me. Set your expectations when you've got lies like this. You really are just trying to limit the damage. What you don't want to do is be chipping again for your next one. So right down the grip, at least not all the way, but sort of, oh, nearly fell over. Middle, okay, hinge, chop, hope for the best. Hinge and pop it down. Right, I played that really nice. It's a shame. If I had landed like 2 feet shorter, it'd have hit the upslope and it would have probably got quite close. Have one more go. Hinge it, pop in, try and land it in that upslope. I've hit the upslope that time and that totally died. This is what links golf is all about. You've got to get a little bit lucky at times. But both of them, you know, pretty good. Use the right club, super wide, got myself balanced, hinge, hit down. You need a bit of luck to get it close, but I don't know, what have I got there? 20 footer and a 15 footer? I can hold one of those. Right, so go look at next. Par 5, 12, 530 yards off the back tee. Downwind today as well, so definitely in range, and you really want to bring it off the left there. Left's a great miss. Loads of room there, so you can see why it's a good miss. You're going uphill and you've got green. Right, you can see what's going on the right hand side. Now, if you're a bit short here, just watch this. We'll see where this ends up. So a little bit short, we're going there, and you see how that's moving. I mean, there's a burn down there. I wonder if it'll get that far. It's picking up some pace. So yeah, that burn, I think you'll see a few balls going in there coming off the slope. So if we hit it a little bit further up the green now, and that will end up way off. So we'll go and play that one. See where that ends up. But yeah, you can see this dangerous burn. It kind of like it's hidden really. Don't really know it's there, but I'm sure there's going to be a few balls going in there. Right, so this is definitely the no-go area. You can see how it's just going to move down this way. So it kind of all depends on the light. It's fairly tight and not really the light you want to go in the air, but I think a lot of tour pros would attempt this shot. They've got the skill to do this. A little bit of hinge, rotate open. The wind might move a little bit, and it should move a little bit off the left on the green. I can release 2 with a 60. I've got to get some height here. You can see that's probably going to roll on too far, which it has. So the shot I would advise you here is more like a little 6-iron, because that is such a steep bank, and you can just do a little chip and run into there with a 6 and see if we can just bumble it to the top and let it feed down. There we go. Sit down, sit down, sit down, go in. Oh, nearly. So play that really nicely. It's not too far away at all. Low is the shot, isn't it? You got a big bank, but a 6-iron just to really make sure it got up there. Just from that lie there, it hit the hard pan, closed the face on the higher one, gone way past the hole. So I just much prefer that lower shot when you're working into banks there. And don't rule anything out. You know, this is release 1. You can do it with a sand wedge, a 9-iron, a 7-iron, 6-iron, whatever. But to really think about that trajectory into that slope and just die it at the top and let it feed out. Great challenge, but really, if you're playing this course, don't miss it right. Right, so if you can watch the video there, you'll see how Shane pulled his shot into 13 and it went up right in the middle of this bunker. Pin was round about where my head cover is there. And what you don't really get on the television is actually how steeply it is downhill. It's pretty quick down there. He had wet sand, so you can see his follow through was quite short. So if the sand's pretty compact and wet, it's a good idea to stop a little bit shorter. Today it's really dry, really fluffy. Probably a good idea to have a little bit more release given today's conditions. Lovely sand here. So just a bit more release, really keep moving. Little bunker shot. And then it sort of just feeds down there. And nicely. So because the sand's a bit drier today and a bit softer, I had to put a little bit more release into that than Shane did, where he went a little bit more this way. But yeah, if you're missing this in this bunker and the pin is sort of middle to back, it's really quick down that hill. That way is not too bad towards the front of the green because you're going to an upslope, but yeah, this isn't a great miss over in this bunker. Very, very well placed, and yeah, tricky bunker shot, but yeah, hopefully they can play them like that and get it nice and close and up and down. So just to kind of go through the changing conditions, if you look at the video here where Shane's gone through the green out of the rough, had no control, and then he's going back and he leaves it short. Now, you can see how soft the green was. Now today, this is downwind, it's bait. I mean, this is just like original marble staircase down there. That is so quick. If I land that over that tier, I promise you it's off the green. I mean, it's way off the green. So I can't do that today. And it's important to understand how conditions change a golf course. That's a great thing about golf, isn't it? The ability to adapt and how the conditions are ever changing. So I'm going to use a 56 here. I'm going to have a little bit of hinge, sort of a release 1, maybe 1.5, a little release in. It's not too bad, it's quite firm. There's a really big swale. If I leave this a little bit short, it will just go off and it'll be somewhere in the rough over there actually. So you know, it's so tough, this shot. I can see the scoreboard actually on 18, the big yellow scoreboard. That's kind of my line, and land it on top, and it's got to feed down the slope towards the head core. I put the head core exactly where Shane Lowry had the pin on the Sunday when he played this shot. So let's give this a go. This will be a test, right? Little hinge, a little bit of release. Die it at the top and let it feed down. Go on, get over the slope. I want it to be a little bit more to the right, but I think you've got the pace. Sit, sit. Was it going to go off the green? It might go off the green. Sit. Oh, it stayed on the green. Sit. Is it going to go? Is it going to go? I think it's gone. I think it's gone. Just to show you how absolutely lightning this is. Right, I'm going to go a little bit more to the right, pop a little bit more release into it. This is such fun, but blimey. If it's like this during the Open, it'll be great viewing. Right, I can't play it any better. That's softer. See if that stays on the green. I managed to keep that short. Sit. Yeah, okay, so that's maybe about 8 feet. Great fun. I mean, but hopefully it just shows you changing conditions. I just had a bit more release on that second one. It softened up, but yeah, don't go long and have that shot down that hill on this hole. That is lightning. Great fun though. So 15th hole, beautiful hole. Great tee shot, all runs down to the right. Get the views again. But yeah, you can see again, it's a massive runoff area on the right. So if you miss it, right side of the green, you'll be challenging up and down. What's really cool design here, you've got this little pot bunker around about halfway up the green. So with the runoff on the right, players are persuaded to go a little bit more down the left, and that's going to really collect a lot of the ball. So anything landing here, it's going to trickle down as I've thrown one down there into the bunker. And then you're left with a really short shot. So really course management wise, you might see a lot of players kind of hitting it to this front portion, taking the bunker out to play, even if the pin's at the back, and then just saying, look, let's get away with a 4 and get a 2-putt with a 30-footer. But yeah, really great design. Harry Colt design greens, fantastic. So dribbled into the bunker. Don't need a lot here. Again, we know it's really quick and fast. So I've gone to the 60 here, emergency. Nice and low when you've got these short ones, so you can just create a shorter swing. Plenty of release. There's lots of sand in here, so you need to really use the bounce through it. We got the splash. Sit. Sit. Yeah, there we go. That's up and down. So you just got to be, it's a tough shot there, because what happens is mentally, you're sort of thinking, well, it's a short shot, so you can back out, but you've got to read the line. You can see there's a lot, it sounds lovely, there's a lot of it. So you've really got to sort of lay that club down with enough force that the sand doesn't beat the club head, and it can just pop out and run. So a little bit of feel needed there as well as the technique, but I think this will be a popular bunker during the Open Championship. So yeah, watch out for that shot. Right, we've reached the 16th, which is just one of the world's greatest par threes. It's about 225, 230 yards, but you can see what's in front. I mean, if you just miss it, you lost ball basically. Big ravine. If you miss it right, it's game over. There's a bit more room left. So left will be the bail here. Downwind a bit today. If it's into the wind, you could see some players hitting 2 irons in here, okay? I'm going to hit a 4 hybrid today. I can't resist hitting one on this hole, so I'm going to give this a go. So I think I'll hit it on the left side. See if we can keep it. It's pretty good. It's bang on line. Whether it's got enough, I don't know. I didn't 100% pure it. So we're going to see where that's gone. If I've come up a little bit short, that could be in that rough with the upslope there. But what a hole! What a fantastic hole! And it comes at a great point in the round, doesn't it? 60. Imagine it's close on the Sunday of the Open, and there's 3 holes to go, and you're on this tee. What a moment! So let's go and see if we can find that. I've got it. So it's hit this bank, run down, just under this sort of ledge. Over and then really quick down, so really positions Ed here. But look, if it had been a little bit shorter, it could have gone all the way down to the bottom. So that will be really interesting to see if you see that during the Open. I'm sure you will do. What a great golf hole, one of the best par threes I've ever played. Right, sitting down in the rough, definitely an emergency this. Right, down the grip, lean into this slope. If I don't lean into this, I'm going to just fall down all the way down there. That won't be pretty. And I can't even tip myself with the slope. Everything, this slope is so severe, everything has got to go left. Hinge it, and I've just got to hit in. There'll be no follow through here. Strong left hand, hold it, see if I can pop it up. Aim a little bit right, see if it comes round. I mean, this is one of those moments where you could land it, come back to your feet, land it, come back to your feet, and you could easily run up a 6 or 7. So first thing, let's carry it. Right, down the grip. Starting to give away that bit of ground. Right. Here we go. Okay. Stay left. Foot's going a bit. Right, there we go. Quite a nice shot that. Really pleased with contact. It's a little bit right at the pin. But the main thing is I didn't fall all the way down the bottom. And the second point is I've got it on the green, I think. On the green? Yeah, it is. It's pin high actually. I thought it, sometimes on those slopes it comes out left, but it actually stayed straight. I've got about 18 feet there to the par, so I'll have a putt actually. I think it's going to make it for a 3. Let's see how quick these are. Oh, hold it. There we go. Wow. So that was maybe the best up and down in my career there. So just came down. They are lightning fast. That's the first putt I've had as well today. But there's a 3 on the 16th here at Portrush. What a hole, and look at that view. I think this is the best vista on the whole golf course right here. You can probably see every hole just about as you look out to sea. Wonderful place. Okay, right, we've got 2 to go. Let's see what's going on 17. 17th hole, fabulous driving hole. Look at this slope that just goes down like a ski run from the top. It's about 295 to the top. So it's a decision that the pros will have to make here, whether they're going to hit something like, I don't know, a 260 shot, and then that will leave them a, I don't know, maybe a wedge in or a 9-9 in or so, or they try and get the slope and catch it. And that, I reckon the big hitters could reach this green. I really think they could drive the green here, but it's slightly cambers. It's quite clever. So if your ball just goes over the left side of the fairway, let's see where that one ends up. So that's running, should reappear. There you go. It's probably going to pin the bunker. It's been well designed. Here we go, go in the bunker. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's in the bunker. So look at the difference if you hit the right-hand side of this fairway. So now I'm going to roll it over the top down the right side, and you can see how that will be pretty much in position. And let's see how far that goes. So imagine if that's got a little bit more energy going over the top, which at 295 the pros can do. That's going to leave a very short wedge in. So really, it's risk and reward hole, really. That bunker shot's going to be a difficult one from down there. But we're going to play that little pitch shot just short of the green and see how we can play that. Now, a few options here. You could just throw it up in the air and sort of carry it most of the way and try and spin it. I think these conditions today, that would be a tough shot to play. And the fairway's been pretty firm. You know, you can get that bit of a kick when you try and hit it a little bit higher. So I'm going to play the classic link shot. I'm going to go for a low flighted, long chip and run, stroke pitch, land it front edge with a low flighted 52, give me a little bit of check, but then hopefully it will just cozy on down to the hole, right? So down the grip a little bit of hinge, very much a release 1 type action here. There's a little dark spot just short of the green. It's sort of just over that really. Bring it off the right. So I want a low flight, bit of check, release it out. Landed it where I wanted to. Sit down a bit now. Sit down a bit. Sit down a bit. Sit. Okay, really happy with the trajectory. Gone on about 15 feet or so. A bit of a shoot, so I'm going to land this one a little bit shorter. And again, going back to what I said earlier, it's what practice rounds are for. You'll see the pros playing shots from here in practice, and just trying to get the feel of how much that's released. And so I was happy with the shot, just lacked a bit of feel with the landing spot. So I'm going to bring that back a little bit now. Same type of shot. There you go, that was about 3 yards shorter. Come on, break a bit. Come on, break. You got the distance spot on there, didn't break too much. But yeah, that's a nice shot. And the great thing about them, they weren't great shots. They're okay, probably about the same length as I had on the last hole. But the key there is I control the trajectory, and that is such a safe shot. I mean, how many times you get in this position, you try and hit it high and you blade it over the other side of the green, particularly off these lies when it's this firm. So don't forget that little low shot. Of course, you might say, well, why didn't you use an A-time for that? Well, I think that would have really got away from it. And there's a few humps and bumps before then. The beauty of hitting the low 52 is I could carry it most of the way towards the front of the green, get a relatively straight bounce, a bit of check, and let it run out. So not too unhappy with both of those shots. Right, so we've reached the 18th tee, an absolute monster of a finish on 473 yards, dog leg left to right. It's actually quite an inviting tee shot. It looks like, we're quite elevated here. It looks like you can just hit a little bit of a fade off that left side, but there is a bunker on the right you would have to be careful with. You can see the grandstands, huge grandstand down there, and the famous yellow scoreboard. So the goosebumps are coming on the arms. What a moment. And I wonder who's going to be standing on this tee. But it's going to be a lot of pressure. Right, so this is the walk everyone dreams of. Walking up 18, everyone cheering. Your name's at the top of the leaderboard, and hopefully you got about 3 or 4 putts to win it. That's what Shane Lowry had, didn't he? Won by quite a few in the end. But if it's a little bit tighter, okay, there's a bit of room right, but really nasty runoff area on the left. So you can see here how you can play quite a nice shot, nearly hit the green. And you can see how that's really going to gather way down there. And then you've got to get it up and down to win the Open. Let's see if I can do it. A few options. You could go into the bank, and it will be one of those little 6 or 7 iron ones that we did a few holes ago, sort of landing it here, running it up. And that's a nice shot, great under pressure. But I think if you're going to get up and down to win the Open, you're probably carrying it up there, landing it about 8 feet on. Imagine that walk back to the ball, now you've got to get up and down. Now, I've got a 60 here because the lie's tight, and I've got to try and spin this. So I'm going to hinge it hands ahead when I hit this, fire it in, see if I can get it going mid-flight and try and get a bit of grab on it. Because we know how firm it all is, you know, the greens are here. So let's see if we can do this. When you are under pressure, by the way, keep breathing, right? So this will be the high pressure moment. Breathe, really try and slow your heart rate down. Just make sure your grip pressure's loose. Have a practice swing, get everything flowing. Remember, pressure's relative, whether you've got to get up and down to win the Open or it's a monthly medal, okay? Keep breathing, keep soft. Right, so we can do it. Go. Oh, that might be good. That might be very good. All right, maybe about 6, 8 feet. We'll see. Let's see if we can hold it. See if we can hold up for the Open. I'm quite pleased I played that. Came out nice. Just trickled on a bit. But the green's been so firm. Oh, there we go. He wins the Open. In my dreams. There we go. Right. So listen. Hopefully that's been useful for you. Hopefully it improves your viewing of the Open, whether it's before or after. But the main points there is, how do you adapt for links golf when the conditions are this firm? This is as links as it will get. This is arguably the quickest golf course I've ever played around the greens. Okay, it's been really tough, and hopefully it will help you appreciate how good these top players are. If they're playing the golf course as it is today, in July at the Open, and you're seeing these guys get up and down regularly, I mean, it's just incredible. You've really got to marvel at their talent. But hopefully it's going to help you when your own golf, in terms of IQ, really try and improve your decision making. And if you ever get on the links golf course and you go and play there, it's going to really help your shot selection and your technique as well. So hopefully enjoyed the video, enjoy the Open, and I'll see you next time.